on, I guess this comeback of yours keeps rolling on. Within one game of the top four now, did you realistically think you could get back to this position earlier on in this season?
When we were 0-6, we just wanted to win a game, and we wanted to get back on the winners list at that point in time. So we didn't envisage sort of looking too far ahead at all. So it's to the players' credit, they've been able to play a pretty strong brand of footy now for a couple of months, and be really consistent and get us back in a position that we prefer to be, knowing that we've still got a fair bit of work ahead of us.
Do you mention top four? Do you talk about top eight, or is it literally just taking it game at a time?
No, we don't. I mean, we don't talk about anything other than this week's coming game, because as you can see, the competition's incredibly even. It's the most even that it's ever been, and any team can beat anyone else on any given day, and we've seen that ourselves. So the Saints, if you look at 2 weeks ago, absolutely were fantastic against the Tigers and lost on the weekend against the Bombers. So we very much respect the competition, the quality of the competition and the evenness of it.
So you're wary of the Saints. What do you see as their biggest strength?
Yeah, they've won 4 out of the last 5. So they're playing a really good brand of footy. Their midfield's exceptionally strong. They've got a great defence. And their forward line's got a good mixture of tools and smalls. Their small players can really hurt you at ground level and kick goals. They're very smart. They play a really powerful brand of footy. So we've played them a couple of times this year, once in the pre-season and once again early on this season a few weeks ago. And so we've been able to have a look at them, and they're a really good even team now. And they've built their list over the last few years to be able to get to a position where they've got a really even contribution from their 22.
For your turnaround, how important has it been having Jared McVeigh and Kieran Jack back to full fitness? They missed a bit at the start of the year.
Yeah, it is important. I mean, it's important that we had obviously a few of our players in that boat at the start of the year. It was all compounded, and it's particularly compounded when you have your 2 ex-captains of the club that were injured as well. So it's been good to have them back. They play important roles for us, and they give us that little bit of extra leadership and help Josh Kennedy out enormously.
How's Kurt Tippett looking for this week?
Look, he's looking okay at the moment. We, at this stage, expect him to be able to get through training and play this week, and then it's a matter of decision whether he plays seniors or reserves. The good thing is that he got through a half last week. He tightened his groin tightened up a little bit, but he's pulled up well this week. So we'd like him to see how he goes at training today.
Story in the paper today with Kevin Sheedy saying that he could see you doing what he did at Essendon and maybe being here for 2 decades or more. Could you see yourself being here for that long?
I can't see myself beyond this week. To be honest, it's such a challenging role that you don't look too far ahead at all. What I'm fortunate enough to be is at a club that's got a fantastic board, executive, staff and playing group, and you need all those things going for you to be able to get through from week to week and then hopefully from year to year. And we're fortunate that we've got a fantastic, stable football club that assists that. And you've only got to look at Alistair Clarkson this week. He plays his 300th game to realise how strong an off-field setup has to be able to last a long time in football. And Alistair's 300th this week is probably testament to that.
We're a little while off from it yet, but there's also talk about where a potential Swans-Giants final would be held. The Giants coming out and say they definitely don't want to play here. Do you think it would be best as a spectacle to play a potential All Sydney final here if it gets to that point?
It hasn't crossed my radar for 1 second. I'll let other people talk about that and discuss that. My job is to prepare for the Saints this week, and that's what I do, because it's a fair way off at the moment, and so I just worry about St Kilda this week.
Sorry for totally being asked, but how's Sam Reid doing?
Okay at the moment. He's not expected to do all of training today. That's not unusual for some of our senior players not to do all of training on a final training session. So we'll see how he goes this afternoon. He's pulled up okay during the week, maybe even a little bit better than what we thought. So we'll see how he goes today before we make a decision this afternoon.
And Kurt?
Kurt's in pretty good shape at the moment. He actually looks okay, so we'd like to be able to see. He's still got to train today, but at the moment he looks like he's going to be okay.
Is it tempting to rush him back into the first should Sam not make it?
It's an option for us. Whether Sam plays or not, we'll find out with training. As I said, he's a bit better than what I thought he'd be, which is a good sign for him. And we've got Kurt obviously and Callum Sinclair as well, so we've got a couple of options there if we need to.
And how important is it to have the Pride game this weekend?
Oh, very important. It's very important for our club and for the broader community to be able to make sure that people just feel safe and welcome at the football. And regardless of their background, to be able to come along to a sport and the AFL in particular and be safe and welcome is very important for this football club.